back to Black Desiderium. Today we'll be discussing Season 1, Episode 5 of Moesha, Million Boy March. The episode starts off with Moesha talking about women's rights, and she lets us know that it's a new male organization in town that contacted her church asking for 2 male delegates. Now, Moesha, she wasn't going for that. She was like, why does it have to be men? So the next day, Moesha and Kim, they decide to go to the all-male organization's meeting. And when they go there, of course, the leader of the meeting, he is not happy. He told them that this is only for men and this is for black men leadership, stuff like that. Of course, Moesha gave pushback, and so did Kim, because she saw a cute boy that she was interested in, so she was down to stay. But Moesha, she was there to make a difference or whatever. She wanted to prove her point that women should be involved in a group. After Moesha and the leader of the group, Whitlock, went back and forth for a while, Moesha asked the other men of the group to do a vote. And everybody voted that they can stay except for the leader, Whitlock, and the character that Ray J was playing. This was the first episode that Ray J would appear in Moesha, but he was not Dorian, his reoccurring character that's in later seasons. In this episode, he didn't have a name. He was just the leader of the group, Whitlock's sidekick. Ray J's character was going in on Moesha. He kept saying how he didn't want her in the group. And he was saying, he said, my sister. And Moesha said, my daddy ain't never told me nothing about you. Which was very crazy for her to even say, being that we all know what happened in later seasons with Dorian. But I don't know. After the vote, Whitlock decides to let Moesha and Kim stay. Kim's main focus was Norman, and he was played by Wesley Johnson, aka Sweetness from Roll Bounce. When the meeting finally begins, Moesha and Whitlock go back and forth a little bit more about the policies, about, different things in the organization. And Moesha asks him, does their scholarship offer money to female students? Which Whitlock says no, it's only for men. So they argue about it some more, to the point that Whitlock ends the meeting early and he tells Moesha that she needs to stay in her place. Back at the house, Dee is teaching Miles about laundry and other household chores. When Frank walks in and he's thrown off, he is like, Dee, you're confusing my son. He doesn't need to learn about that. Cooking, cleaning, leave that up to the women. All of this crazy stuff. And Dee is like, you don't think that it's, a necessary skill that Miles should have growing up to know how to cook and clean for himself? And Frank told Dee, well, you won't understand, it's just a man thing. Dee tells Frank off about his toxic and outdated mindset, and pretty much tells him that responsibilities and household chores aren't just for women. And she continued doing the laundry with Miles. Moesha and Hakeem walk in the house, and Moesha tells Hakeem about the leader of the group, and Hakeem pretty much tells her she can't judge all men off of one man's actions and how he acts. And he takes a dig at Robin Givens and Anna Nicole Smith in a true 90s fashion.
That's like saying all women are gold diggers because of Robin Givens. And Anna Nicole Smith. And any woman that would go out with Biggie Smalls.
Dee overhears their conversation and asks Moesha what's wrong. Moesha tells Dee what happened at the meeting today and how it was a meeting strictly for men and that they weren't really welcoming to her and Kim. Moesha explains that the group's main focus is to teach men leadership skills and just teach a boy how to become a man. And Frank jumps in and says he really doesn't see a problem with that. And him and Hakeem, they really just started going in and, getting hype. And Dee asks him if women shouldn't have leadership skills or different things like that, different organizations where they teach women or girls how to be women and different leadership skills. Frank says he believes that women should have organizations like that, but they should make their own. So Dee, she was like, okay, she got offended by that, and she said, you and Hakeem, y'all need to make y'all own dinner tonight. Back at the organization's meeting, Kim and her boo Norman are passing out the snacks, and all the boys were cracking up and laughing at Norman. And the leader, Whitlock, he ends up tasting the snack and he says, you know what, maybe it was a good idea to add women to the group now they can feed us. Still in that condescending tone that he was speaking in. Whitlock then calls the entertainment committee, which is Moesha, up to the podium, to which Moesha lets the group know that she has contacted multiple celebrities to see if they can come to their fundraiser for the event. And of course, Whitlock had something smart to say and said, well, did you actually contract them? We don't care if you contacted them. Did you contract them? And Moesha lets them know that she contracted Jodeci. Now, everybody was happy. Everybody was screaming, dancing, and Whitlock was jealous. She asked him, okay, and they need a location of the venue and a date. Of course, Whitlock said that he already secured that, but when she asked him, he didn't have anything to say. So to deflect, Whitlock starts giving the same old tired speech of the black woman trying to hold the black man down, trying to tear him down and all of that. And Moesha pretty much says, save that. They go back and forth until Moesha decides that she's going to step down from the committee and she's taking Jodeci with her. Back at the house, Miles is cooking dinner for the family, and of course Frank still has somewhat of an attitude, but when he tastes the food, he realizes that it's really good. Hakeem gives Dee her props for teaching Miles how to cook. Hakeem then asks Moesha if she can hook him up with some of the tickets to the Jodeci / fundraiser event, to which Moesha lets them know that she left the organization, and Dee asks her what happened. Next thing you know, it's a knock at the door. Miles goes to open the door, and it is Whitlock. He says he wants to speak to Moesha, and Moesha comes out there to the living room. Every member of her family pretty much tells him off and tells him how he's tripping and he missing out on a good person because he just getting in his own way. So everybody leaves the living room except for Moesha and Whitlock, and they talk. Moesha pretty much don't have anything to say to him. And he pretty much says that he wants her back into the organization. Everybody wants her. Whitlock then apologizes, but Moesha isn't convinced, and she's just like, And he's like, what do you want me to do, beg? I'm sorry, I apologize. I want you back in the committee. He pretty much wanted Jodeci back to that event, and he knew he couldn't pull it off. But, so Moesha said she would come back only on one condition: if he opens the scholarship up to women, to girls. Whitlock agrees to open a scholarship up to girls if Moesha lets him take her out on a date. So Moesha agrees, and then now her attitude about Whitlock has changed completely. He went from being a misogynistic fool to a fine young man or whatever. She said he was fine. When the family came back in the living room, they were confused, like, what? So fast forward to Saturday, and Jodeci is on the stage performing Get On Up. And Moesha and Whitlock, they dancing, they having a good time. And then Whitlock gets pulled to the side by a reporter, and he's speaking to him. Moesha walks over there and says, what's going on? And of course, Whitlock, he says to Moesha that he feels that it's best if her and Kim stayed out of the picture, and that the newspaper article focuses on the black men, and that he didn't want her in the picture. Now, mind you, Moesha put this entire event together, from getting Jodeci to getting the venue. And now Whitlock is saying he doesn't want her to get any credit. And he admitted he's aware that she put everything together, and if it wasn't for her, that the event wouldn't have turned out like this. But he still was saying, I still don't want you in the picture, and I don't want you in the newspaper article. So Moesha, she tells him off, and she said she just done with him. She was tricked. She thought he changed his mindset, but obviously he was the same. So she goes to sit down and talk to Andale, and she's just disgusted with him. And so when the group was taking a picture, all the other men and Kim, they was all telling Moesha, come up here and take the picture. You need to come in the picture. And she was just like, no, no, no. They start chanting her name. And Moesha walked up there and got right in the middle of the picture and took the picture right beside Whitlock. He looked like he was uncomfortable, embarrassed, because he just told her he didn't want her to be in the picture, but everybody else did. In the end, Moesha came out on top, as always. She was in a newspaper article, and the title read, 1 Million Boys Led by a 1 in a Million Girl. Tell me what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. Do you agree with Moesha? Would you have kept trying to join this organization? or would you have made your own organization? Also, let me know if you guys think that Whitlock actually kept his side of the bargain and opened the scholarship up for the girls, or did Moesha just get ganked out of a date?